Hey guys, getting ready to start a video here, and I'm having to deal with the raccoons, as you can see. Their eyes light up, don't they? Little guys. They're all over the place. Here in Florida, raccoons are quite prevalent, but I'm getting ready to start a project and had to deal with those little guys for a bit there. Alright, getting back to the shop over here. I just wanted to do something from the project box, guys. Let's see what we got. Alright. My eyes are closed. Digging in, digging in. My eyes are open. Oh God. Okay. All right. Yeah. This has been in here for a bit. It's time we address this one, guys. All right. It's the ice cream truck, obviously. And let me put it on the bench, and we'll look at it further. Alright, I am getting situated at the bench here. Ice cream truck. The reason I'm a little hemming and hawing about this one a little bit, guys, there we go, got that set, is I know it's missing the front bumper, and I've got like every damn other bumper in the world. I just don't have one for the front there. Other than that, I've looked at it before. I know that the screw posts are good. Everything else is good. Doesn't have the stickers on it or anything, but the only thing that's missing that darn bumper. So here's what I was thinking. You know, who does it? Is it AJ's that has a track cleaner? I thought, since this is missing the front, why don't we somehow turn this into a track cleaner? That's as far as I got with it. I don't know if I've got parts. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I thought that possibly, I know that track cleaner, they use one of those blocks to clean the track. I've got a bunch of these. I'm not sure which bin they're in, but we'll look for them, and maybe we can cut something out and make it work or not. But nevertheless, we're going to give it a shot. We'll have to find a chassis. Obviously, he doesn't have a chassis. Let's just start getting into the project and looking for parts and whatnot. Looking at my parts bins, I've got wheels, axles, tires, hubs, those things. A lot of the gears. Oh God, what's in that one? Yeah, gears, brushes, shoes, that type of thing. A couple of Batmobiles and things I've been working on. What else do we have in the parts bin? You just don't know. I mean, we're looking. Just something, I don't know, maybe, I'm thinking like something to hold the block, Oh, here they are. Okay, good. We have these blocks here. And, they're for, like, cleaning the track and whatnot. And look at that. That one right there. Yeah, we could probably use that. What else we have? A bunch of bumpers and stuff. I don't know. Let me get my fish around here. There's so many things from odd pieces here. All right, what the hell's that? Oh, that's like a weight thing or something, isn't that? That's interesting. Let's see what we got. Yeah, I was thinking like something like a U to hold it or whatever, but what is this? Looks like it's trying to get some better light here for us. Kind of bent funky, isn't it? Look at that. Okay. Don't know. Let's do this. Let's dig around for a chassis. One sec. Yeah, I do remember having a couple in the bin box here. That doesn't look too bad. It looks like it's all there, doesn't it? Let's give that bugger a shot. Looks pretty good, huh? Yeah. And I always like turning it over and looking at the brush springs to see if they're, kind of funky or anything. But those look okay. Good. I never know how long something's been in that project box. I got the transformer on. Let's just go ahead and test it while I'm standing up here. Yeah, we got a little juice, didn't we? Yeah, I think it did. Yeah, it does. Okay, good. Oh, it does. It runs. Good. All right, good. We're in better shape than I thought. Well, I'll probably end up cleaning the chassis, get that transformer off, and just to make sure that it's going to run good and it's going to be strong enough. Because if it's going to be hopefully pushing a block around the track, it's going to have some juice to it. So let me go ahead and resituate the camera, and let's just see what we got so far. Alright, here is what we have so far. We have the body, you got the chassis, we have whatever the hell this thing is. It's got the two holes in it. I'm thinking maybe somehow the holes, or the axle could go through the holes, or I don't know which way, maybe it'd have to go like that, maybe, I don't know. We're going to play with it. I know that the Front axle is going to have to come off. We'll probably have to get smaller tires. And I'm looking at the little bit of the cat hair or fuzz on the engine, so we're definitely going to have to clean the chassis. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that the ice cream truck has the long wheelbase, so I'll be mindful of that. I'll have to go get make sure I have a long axle with that. And I'm going to try to dress it up or dress it out pretty much the way, I don't know, it should look, but it's going to have like a little, you know, the center thing on the front. And I was thinking about this just a second ago. You see the back there? We might have to put a weight behind the back screw post, between the back screw post and that back panel there, just because when it's pushing forward, it might have so much nose weight, it might not go too good. I don't know yet. We'll have to find out. I don't know how much it's going to weigh, and, you know, we're just getting in the project. Another thing, you know, back there, you know how that Oscar, the track cleaner, that AJ's one, it's got like a little piece of felt coming out of the back that's cleaning the track. We could do that with the, you know, right back there too. You know, we could put some felt back there and then, you know, have it, you know, come out just a little bit. So we got all kind of possibilities, guys. Again, we're just starting the project. We're going to see how it turns out. Just going through my parts bins, and I got a large axle there for us. And I just took the front axle, tires, hub, you know, all that stuff off. You know, one thing that I'm still not, I don't know what we're going to do, but we're still missing a front bumper. I know we're going to have maybe the mechanism probably coming out the front there along with the, you know, you would see where the chassis is normally, but we still don't have a front bumper. We're going to have to address that. And since I kind of want to dress it out normally, I'm going to get some hubs and some tires that I think will work for this. We might just for fun, if we really want this thing to go, we might see if we can get those bigger tires on there, and instead of trying to dress it out perfectly, you know, like they should be, you know, mint in the book and all that stuff, let's make it work and have some fun with it. So we're leaving the options open is what I'm getting at. So let me do this. I just heard the darn raccoons out there again. Let me pause this, and we'll figure out the next step. Got the tires and the hubs, got the axle there, and I'm going over my head. You know, is this even worth it? I mean, should I just pitch it and try to make something myself? I don't know how this is going to work yet, guys, or if it is going to work yet. I mean, it's kind of funky bending it there. You see how it kind of flares out? We could probably straighten that out. I don't know. Let's just try it and see. I think I know we're going to have like a wide wheelbase, because this thing is it's wider than the chassis, obviously, and we should go right through that hole. There we go. Yeah, see, there's a little bit of room left on there on the axle, but that's not solving a problem, though, is it? Maybe I got to turn it around upside. You know, I was thinking, I don't know. I think I might have it upside down now that I'm looking at it. Let's just do this. Is it going to work? Is it going to fit? Yeah, it should. Put that bugger in there. And we completely missed it. Good. Okay. Well, that rocks a bit, doesn't it? I mean, that just rocks. Back and forth like that. Okay. Well, we're not done yet. But listen, it gives the... this might be what we want. Look at that. Wow, look at that. Like, I'm thinking if that was glued to it just right. Well, let's put the darn wheels on. See what we get. As far as height wise, that's going to be a big factor. I don't even have the darn wheels on yet. I'm not putting them on all the way. I'm just putting them on a little bit so we can get the height of it here. Okay, so that's what it'll be like. But we're going to have. Okay, no. See, I don't know if that's going to. Well, we might have to skinny it up or whatever. Okay, this isn't even the right block. I had that bin out just a second ago. I didn't even get that block out of there. Where's that? Here it is. Okay, that's the block we want to use. We will cut that bugger and trim it down and make it the size we want. Okay, look at that. That's a little bit better. That's like if that was glued to that real good, you know. Oh my gosh, that looks pretty good. One thing I don't like is how used the block looks. You know, I know people have used it over the years and whatnot, but if you run that bugger over sandpaper, you can make it look like you know, really good. Plus, if I'm going to put part of this onto there, we need to measure out, you know, on here and how wide the rails and all that stuff, and cut a little custom piece, but we want that piece to look really good. So let me go and find some sandpaper, see if I can clean that block up. What I'm doing is I'm getting covered in dust. I got some sandpaper here. What is it? I don't know what grit it is. But it's not coarse, it's not fine, it's in between. It's more fine than it is coarse. But I'm just starting to sand this down, because what I want to do is I want to get a good chunk out of it. I want to get you know, at least something that looks good. If we're doing the project, I don't want it to look, hey, that's like, you know, 50 years old, or so, you know, I want it to look good. So I'm going to keep sanding on that. I know it's got some deep gouges in it and whatnot. I'll probably try to find the best area, the cleanest area to you know, to get that block from. Okay, here's where we're at. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to, I'm not going to sand any more down right now. It's getting thin enough. But I'm trying to think, what is the width that we need when we cut it here? You know, I mean, how you know, what do we need? We got to cut a piece out. I don't want it hitting the shoes, and I don't want it so thin that it isn't heavy enough to do some good. So there's got to be a happy medium in here. Then I thought, why don't we go ahead and just put the body on as best we can. And one thing I noticed right away is, you see that axle? That axle makes those front tires stick out a little bit too much. We might have to sand the ends of the axles down or clip them off and, you know, make it right. But here's the thing. Let's get that where it needs to be. Okay, yeah, there we go. That's on. Now, that just about, the wheels aren't right. That just about tells me where I don't want to go too much into the body there. I want to go just about flush with the bottom. You know, I don't want to go way too much in. I just want to go there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to score a line here, just make a little mark, then I'm going to go ahead and cut that little bit off there. That's all I'm going to do right there. Just make a little indentation, and I know where to cut now. That's all. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to get my saw out. You guys seen it before. It's a flat blade saw. That's going to cut it real straight. All right, we just got through. I used my little miter and again my flat blade saw that I have, and it just cut right through there. Let me go ahead and get the dust off, and we will look at the piece. Doesn't look too bad. I'm going to sand it a little bit more than fit it to the assembly we have. This is a fun project, guys. I was kind of hesitant about doing this, but this has been a fun project. Looking pretty good. Just for fun, I was just test fitting it as the little assembly thing we have here. I was fussing with it, and I tried to get some of the bend out, and now the bars here are touching the chassis, and it makes it a whole lot less loose. So here's what I was doing. I was sizing it up this way to see where I wanted to glue that, and now that is held in place and it's not all, you know, loose and wobbly, when I glue that bugger in place, it'll stay right there. Then we obviously can't touch it for a while. And I'll look for I don't know, maybe we'll have a bumper, or I don't know. I really don't know. If we have something that'll work, or if we have to shave something off, something a little too big, we're going to try to find something. So let me go ahead and find my glue, and we will go ahead and glue that there, and we're going to make this work, guys. Just got some glue on the underneath side of that. I'm going to go ahead and set it in place right now. Just being careful, making sure everything's lined up, trying to be as careful as I can, and I wanted that close to the front, like that. There you go. And it looks like the glue is touching the piece. Let's just make sure it's centered. I'm going to stand up, look over top of it. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty much, well, yeah, we're on the rails, and all that looks good. All right. Now, again, once that dries, we can further that part of the project. But right now, I was thinking about looking for bumpers, and I'm looking at through some of my bins here. Guys, if you see anything, let me know. All right, tons of bumpers and stuff. What do I got? Let's see if I can get that better for you. Just a sec, trying to resituate the camera here. There we go. All right, let's start over here. Anything here? That's no. What is that bugger? No. We gotta have something that's gonna be good with the front there. You know what? Okay. What is that one? Oh, that looked funny, having a Jaguar on the... Yeah, that'd be great, huh? Okay, now this is huge. That's huge. Nope. Just saying too much off to make that bugger work, huh? Oh, boy. What do we got in that last bin over here? I don't know if we got anything, guys. I'm going to keep looking, though. Something that could fit, you know, in between here and here, obviously, but not be too wide to hit the mechanism that's drying right now. You know what? Where's see? What is this one? This is one I reproed. I can tell it's real shiny, but you see the black right there on this one? I don't even know what it is. Oh, that's an AMX. That's an old AMX. That's when I reproed. I made that bugger and had it shipped out and had some chrome put on that. That doesn't look too bad, does it? Doesn't look like a truck, but it doesn't look... Well, I tell you what, who's to say right now? Does it fit? Does it even come close? Ooh. I'm digging that. Not too bad, huh? We're going to have to sand some off. It doesn't fit perfectly, but it doesn't come down. Damn, we got lucky. We got absolutely lucky. Let me go ahead and get rid of this bin and set this stuff aside. Wow. That is awesome. Yeah, you can't touch that right now. Yeah, I know it. Okay, wow, that's going to be fun. All right. All right, let me take a look at that further. I'm going to put it in front of me. Just a sec. All right, I think this bumper's going to work. Here's the only thing. I just tried driving it, and they're really small. There's like a little nub there, a little nub on the other side there. They're preventing it from going in properly. I'm talking about I just have to get rid of a little bit. That's all. We got very, very lucky. Very, very lucky on this one. Too cool. Let me go ahead and sand those off and dry fit it again. What do you think? Looks like it's made for it, doesn't it? Looks like it's made for it. Look at that damn thing. Wow, this is like Frankenstein. Trying to do Frankenstein. Okay, let me do this. I was looking at the underneath side there, and it's like trying to focus in a little bit better for you. It's just dirty, filthy, nasty. Let me go ahead and clean that up. I'd hate to glue this up, then have to go wash it and stuff. So I'll be right back. Let me hit the sink. I just got to think it's still wet. I'm trying to shirt dry it, and I've said it too many times, and I always want you guys to do it. But after you wash these damn things, put a wick in there. I'm going to spin the wick out, but put a wick in there and get the water out best you can. You don't want any water stuck in there, okay? Just make sure you get it in there and get it dry. Oh gosh, that body came out wonderful. You know, I always tell you guys I'm going to patch it up and put it on eBay. I might slide this one in my collection. I love the way that bugger looks. That came out really, 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 really nice. And plus, it's going to be a track cleaner. I might have some utilization of it. I still don't know if I'm going to keep those back tires on there or not. I was thinking about that a second ago. For right now, yes, maybe. You know which ones I think look good? You know the AFX ones? I always think the AFX rear tires, like on this one, like the Monkey Mobile, I think those look hot. I really do. I always think those look good. So I might find some of those, scrounge some of those up, make sure I got some good tread, and put those on. I think that those look really good. All right, time to glue the... Where is that bugger? Yeah, time to glue this to the body and let that dry. Then I got to walk away. I just got to walk away. And we'll worry about cleaning the chassis later. I just want to make sure that we get that front assembly on there and it's going to be dry before we even fuss with it. All right, so let me glue that up and see how it comes out. Got it glued in smack dab where I want it, guys. Absolutely right where I want it. I'm going to let that bugger dry. I'm going to probably put it up on a 10, let it dry like that. I just want to make sure that it's going to be, just really solid when I start fussing with it again. All right, so after this dries, we will continue. Alright guys, back at it again. Just got into the shop. It's actually tomorrow morning. It's actually the next day. I'm trying to get my lights here for us to see a little bit better. And where did we leave off? Oh yeah, we glued the bumper on, right? Glued the bumper on. And we got the whole assembly there glued up as well. I'm going to mount my camera here and we'll look at the integrity of the glue job that we did. Looking at the bumper first, I'm applying a little then heavier pressure on it. Feels pretty good, really does. Yeah, that's good. I'm satisfied with that. You know, if it was to move a little bit or wiggle, let's take it apart, get the glue off, and redo it. You know, that type of thing. And let's look at the assembly we have. I'm going to hold that there just for fun. And that feels pretty good too. Now we haven't addressed cleaning the chassis. You guys seen me do that a bunch of times. I'm going to do that. The chassis ran when we tested to the transformer. It didn't sound all that fast. I really either, if we have to, change the chassis out. But I really want a chassis to run around the track and be very, very good. So if I can't get this one running up to par, we're gonna find a different chassis. Just a sec. Just getting ready to clean the chassis, and I remember that I wanted to put the back tires on there, the back wheels, like the AFX, and I'm getting ready to try to figure out which one of my little bins I have the hubs in and stuff. Let's see what we got. Alright. Yeah, there's an AFX right there. Good. There's one. What I like to do, if I've got them already paired up, I'm going to stick them in here. I'll stick them, with either the hubs on the axle or the hubs and the tires on the axle. So when I pull them out, I know that they're going to match. You know what I mean? And they're just ready to go. And if they're in the bin here, they're worth keeping. Other stuff in the bin is loose. But if I have a match that I took off a car, I try to do that. Okay, so let me go ahead and start tearing apart that chassis and see if you can make that thing a little bit better. Just started to dig into it, and boy, it looks pretty clean. Look at the bottom of the engine plate there. The brushes look clean. It's just not running too fast, so maybe I'll adjust the tension on the brushes springs down there. But right now, it's not full of gunk or nothing. Just got the shoes off, and I'm really gonna address the springs. They don't look too bad. I normally refresh them. Yeah, stretch them out just a little bit. But what I'm going to do is really pay good attention, because with the added weight on the front of this bugger over here, if the springs are refreshed, it's going to help it work better. It'll be like less heavy in the front, so to speak. But I'll do that in just a second. I'm getting ready to change out that back axle there with the AFX ones over there. So let me do that, and I'll pick it up in just a sec. Just want to take note. Look at that, the back axle next to the tires back there. Yeah, I didn't decat-hair it yet, but he had a small axle on with the big hubs. That always isn't the best way to go, but I know a lot of times if the guys didn't have the axle that was long enough, they did that, and it just barely works. And I always think it's funny when I come across that, because, man, if you got the bigger axle, it's going to help a whole bunch too. And I'm going to clean the crown gear. Looks like it's got a little bit of fuzz on there. So give me just a second. We'll start again. Alright, get it all cleaned up, getting ready for reassembly. The back brush spring, I was noticing over here, somebody had bent it. You see that little funky bend in it right there? The front one looks pretty good, but that had been bent. So that might be one reason why it's not performing as well as we want. So I address that a little bit, and by addressing it, here, just very simply, I take a screwdriver, and what I do is I just kind of flatten it out a few times and then see if it needs to be pushed down a little bit. And sometimes that's all it needs. And I just try to straighten it out a little bit. That's all I do. But right now they look like they're in good shape. Got the brushes clean, the shoes clean. I refreshed the springs that go to the shoes. So let me go and throw this back together, oil it up, and give it a test. Because if it doesn't perform well, I'm going to put this on a different chassis. I want something that really is going to do good for it. I'm just getting ready to put the back axle on. But you see that little post right there? I like giving it just a little bit of oil before that back axle gets in. Make sure it's going to get down there right where it needs to be. Got it reassembled. Just turned on the transformer, guys. Let's give it a shot over here. And come on, work. Alright, we got something. I always like to give it a second to warm up, so to speak. It sounds okay, but boy, it doesn't sound that fast, though, does it? I don't know. Let's do this. Let's track test it. I'll put a guide pin. I got one right there. I'll put a guide pin on this bugger, and we'll track test it and see if we can get it to go around the track and perform the way we want it. Again, if not, I am looking for a different chassis. All right, I put the body on, just getting ready to test it. But here's what I discovered. There's a little bit of play in it, and there should be, so it can just gently rest on the track. But you see how it doesn't go far up enough? I got to cut some grooves in the bumper to allow that to go up just a little bit more. And here's why: because the front tires, they're not touching. So that the little sanding block there, that is with the metal on it, it's making the front tires off, and it's putting too much drag on the front. So I need to address that. I've got again either my little Dremel or the flat edge saw. I'm just going to cut a couple of grooves in the bumpers and see if we can make that set down just a little bit easier. All right, let me get you up to speed to where we're at, guys. Had a little bit of fun. I told you I was going to cut the grooves for the front bumpers in there, and I got those done. You see where they're at right there. And here's the bit that I used. It's just like I touched it, jink, and then jink just a little bit, and it was fine. It was absolutely fine. I could tell by the width of the bit and the width of this little metal piece there that it was going to be fine. Now, let me go ahead and get this. I got a back screw post. I got a back screw and back screw post area. Now, let's see. Here's the whole thing. Do the front tires roll? Yes, they do. Yeah, they do. That's what we want. Before they were lifted up. So now this has just enough play with those little grooves that I cut in there to where it sets flat and flush against the track. Okay, I know I keep talking about getting a different chassis. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Give me a second. I'm going to find one and see what we can come up with. This just doesn't seem to have the power when I had it on the transformer to go around the track the way I want. So give me just a sec. Found the chassis I think I'm going to use. I just put it on the track and tested it, and it runs smooth. Everything runs real good. It's been many years since that bugger's been cleaned by the way it looks out, so I'm going to do a real quick cleaning on that, oil it back up, and then I'm going to put the assembly on the one on the right over there. That's what I'm going to do right now. Just an interesting little tidbit. I don't know why guys did that, but you see how he painted it? Look at, I'm taking the axles off and everything, and I wouldn't even think about that earlier, but he painted on both sides, and white, and it just kind of tapers down like that. And then I'm looking here. See the underneath side there? I don't know, it's like a felt marker or something. Was he just having fun? I don't know, but it's just always interesting to find stuff like that from years ago. Guys painted just the back part like that, Cool stuff. Got the chassis swapped out, and I was just getting ready to finish oiling it there. I usually oil as I go there. I still have to do the axles. And then I'm going to put it on the track and give it a test run. Alright, let's do a test run, guys. I love this part. I love testing stuff. Alright, just got the transformer on. Wrong controller. Okay, well, look at that. It works. We might need to add, we might need to add a rear guide pin to it, but at least it works. And that's the first part of getting this thing going around track. All right, just a sec. I'm going to look for one of those red guide pins. That might be a big deal here. Just a sec. Okay, at least we know it works. Not up to my satisfaction, but at least we know it works. What I did is I got some new tires here. That might help it stay on the track and give it a little bit more push. Plus, just for fun, if we need some of those long red guide pins, I'm going to put one of those in the back and just see how it does. So, another thing. Let me grab this real quick. I got some felt over here, okay, just some black felt, and it's very thin, but you know how the Oscar one had like the little felt coming out of the back of it? I'm thinking about doing the same thing because, right between the post in the back wall there, we got some room to put that felt. So I'm going to cut a little strip of that and put it up there. So the front will be sanding it, but then the back will be cleaning the residual, so to speak. So let me go ahead and put the tires on and see if we can, that guide pin is going to make it stay on the track any better. I got one of those red guide pins in the back there. I'm going to hold off putting the new treads on there, the new tires. Let's just see how it does. Let's just give it a run through real quick. Make sure it's on here. Grab the transformer. See if that doesn't help it out. Oh yeah, the tires spun a little bit. Oh, they're spinning there too, but you can tell it's like the front is definitely going across the rails because it's going so slow. I kind of like the back tires on there. All right, now here's the real proof. I was just thinking about this a second ago. If it's doing what it should be, the bottom of that block should have some rail mark, and it does. They do. Look at that. Look at that. We're cleaning the track, guys. We are cleaning the track. I'm loving this. Okay, again, I'm going to hold off on the tread that I have over there. I'm going to hold off on that, but what I'm going to do now is that felt. I've got a cutting board inside, so I'm going to cut a really nice, like a good strip, a nice straight strip, and it'll be just the width of the back panel there. I am digging this project, guys. This has been a blast so far. I still have to go cut the felt, but I just realized, how's the felt gonna fit back there with that red guide pin in the way? You know what I mean? Do I need to cut 2 strips of felt, maybe, or cut 1 strip, then a slice in the middle so it can go around it? Or do we sacrifice the red guide pin? I don't know. We're gonna have some fun though. I know, kind of funky looking, huh? But it worked. The guide pin, look at that bugger. Guide pin is holding the felt in place real good. Just a little piece of felt, cut it real good. But you see, what I want to make sure though, does it drag on the back there? And it does. It does. And the nice thing about having it black, and it just hit me, is when it's like against the black track. That's hard to see, isn't it? That's hard to see. The front part, yeah, we got the block on there. I'm considering, should I paint it black so it's more invisible, or just leave it like that and let it stand out and everybody knows it's a track cleaner? Don't know, but what I want to do now is put it on the track and see if the felt's going to help or hinder it whatsoever. There we go. Grab the control or the transformer again. Let's see what we get, guys. Now the real proof will be if we see the felt has a little bit of the rail dust on it. You know what I mean? That'll be the real proof here. So let's go ahead and see if we can notice any of that. Trying to get under the light for so you can see a little bit better. Yeah, a little bit. Very good. I see it. It's not the easiest thing to see, but I do see it. So it is working. It is working. Okay, very good. The only thing I might do is I'm still considering putting those other tires on there just to see if it makes it perform a little bit better. Because these old sponge tires, what are they, 50 years old? They're still working, but they're not as grippy as I'd like. So I might change those out. All right, guys, I'm going to call this project complete. This is a blast. I had a fun time with this whole project. We're taking an ice cream truck that didn't have a front bumper, and all of a sudden we're making our own track cleaner ice cream truck. I hate to put this one on eBay. It might go on eBay because it's going to be a unique thing, and that's what I found out on eBay. If you have something that's unique, it sells quite well on eBay. If you have something that thousands and thousands of other people have, usually not as good. All right, guys, have fun. This is Jeff from Smoking T-Jets. This is a great project. Just real quick, I am still having a ball. I've been cleaning my track. Yeah, I'm not playing. I'm cleaning my track. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Listen, this is an absolute wonderful piece. Here's just one thing, and I started to walk away from the bench a second ago. But do this if you would. You're going to do yourself a favor. See the little mess that we made. We got the chassis there, the hubs, just everything there. The tweezers are out and all the tools. Do this. It helps a lot. Just put it back in the bin. I'm sure some of you guys are much more organized than I am, but I find when I keep a clean bench, I'm always ready for the next project. All right, guys, have fun.